baby, bye, bye, bye.
Have you ever had a dreams that you had you want?
Join me today as I try to attempt and make a Halloween costume for my nephew. Yes. So this video came a bit late. Anyways, my nephew said he wanted a Deadpool and Wolverine costume, but he likes Deadpool. So now, I have the conclusion of making a Kidpool costume because, well, he's a kid for one thing, and he wants to be Deadpool for Halloween. Wait, I should be Deadpool. Yep, they would probably notice. What? Okay. So I need to make a costume in 3 days because my nephew suddenly wants to join the activity in the mall. Honestly, I don't know what or where to start, plus my sewing machine broke. But the good thing is that there's internet. So let's internet the browse. I mean browse the net. Yep, I can't afford that, and that looks like shit. I mean, it's a good thing I'm a crafter, or else he'll look like this. Right? Right. I started by looking at references, then made what I can make at the moment, which is the mask of Kidpool. I've made a bunch of facial back then. You can watch that because it's pretty much the same process. So basically what I did is I looked for some pre-templates online and assembled it using some Xerox cardboard and some epoxy resin. That just summarized what I did. I borrowed my friend Sean Scropp's template and watched his video all the way on how to make Deadpool's mask. You could also watch his tutorial, I'll leave it down in the description box below. But I made some adjustments for this mask. After cutting the templates and transferring it to a Xerox cardboard, I scored the lines as shown in the video. I think I might have put a bit of pressure on the knife. Anyways, here's the lenses and facial after I cut and glue it together. Now while I was working on the facial, I heard a knock on the door. Oh, it's the stuff I bought online. I bought some yellow water guns for Kidpool. See, this looks perfect. Except the back of it is broken. No worries, nothing a good old trusty super glue can't fix. Besides the water pistols, I also bought these cheap knee pads, and also I was planning on making his swords because I thought this won't arrive on time, but it arrived earlier than expected. Now let's get back on making the mask. I used this leftover stretchy fabric from my Spider-Man mask video, so I traced the template on the fabric, and I used silk screen for the texture. I don't have a clip on making this because the battery on my camera died. Oh well, but Sean found a way without using a silk screen, so go check out his video on how he did it. So remember earlier I said my sewing machine broke? It's a good thing my aunt have an old school sewing machine. But yeah, I don't know how to use this sewing machine, so I asked my aunt if she could sew the mask and the hoodie for his cute and adorable nephew. And she agreed. So I laid out the fabric and showed her how it will all go together. Then I marked and cut up the hood. Here's how the hoodie will be assembled. Now while my aunt is sewing the mask in the hoodie, I got back in the lenses. I know it's a bad time to experiment, but I use a 2-part epoxy, the same one that I use in making Wolverine's bones, since I know it will be solid as a rock. While that's drying, I got some clear plastic and put a perforated vinyl on top, so my nephew could see through without the outside seeing his eyes. When the epoxy on the lenses dried, I quickly sanded the lenses and I found this thin electric wire lying around, so I used it to wrap the lenses, and spray painted them black. I was about to cover the facial with resin, but, well, it started to rain. So instead I'll be making the holsters for his water pistols. I just traced the water pistol on a piece of Xerox cardboard, but I'm sure any thin cardboard will do. And then while looking at some references, I freehanded the sketch of the holsters. A tip for making an even side of the holster is cutting the other side of the holster, then folding it so you can trace and cut the whole thing. I used the first part of the holster to make where the strap will be attached. I think the holster of DEADPOOL is leather, so I used this leather patch with a self-adhesive to cover the cardboard holsters. Now to make the straps of the holsters, I use black duct tape and fold it multiple times, then slip it through this small plastic buckle. And now add resin to the face shell. Make sure to read the instructions on your resin so it will cure all the way. I have some failed experience with resin on my past projects, so this time I'll stir this truly so the resin and hardener will combine. Take your time on stirring the resin so it will activate. Now that's settled, just put some resin on the face shell, then put some cut fiberglass sheet and put 2 layers inside, then 1 layer on the outside. While that's drying, I started to prep and color DEADPOOL's shoes. I used acetone to wipe away the finishing on the shoes and then covered the white sole with painter's tape. Now that's covered, I can start to paint. I use a hair blower on heat mode since I don't have a heat gun, so the paint will dry faster. I layered red 3 times and moved to adding black. I applied black 2 times. Now I just remove the painter's tape and add the shoelaces back. Now to make the emblem and detail piece of DEADPOOL. After I'm done cutting the pieces, I colored it using spray paint. Time to make the logo for DEADPOOL's hoodie. For that, I used painter's tape again and laid a bunch of it to my cutting mat. Then sketch and cut the logo. Then transfer it to the hoodie. At first, I used this brush to paint it. But I realized the brush was too small, and it would take me long to finish this. So using a cotton pad from my sister's room, I used that and finished coloring the logo faster. Pulled out this hair blower again because it makes the paint dry quicker. Now, just peel back the tape and color the eyes of the logo. And the hood is done. Now to assemble the emblem and detail pieces. Just as I'm finishing the emblem, I totally forgot about the brown belt of DEADPOOL. Luckily, I have a spare belt here. Just ignore the white stuff. I swear that's lotion. Now just glue the emblem to the belt. Using hot glue to stick the detail pieces to the glove. Now moving back to the face shell, I just trim the excess off and sand it to make the face shell smoother so that pointy stuff doesn't poke my nephew in the face when he wears it. And for extra caution, I glued sponges on the inside of the face shell so it won't sit directly on his face. Now that's done, I just put the mask on the face shell and use some hot glue to secure it in place. Then I cut some eye holes so my nephew can actually see. Then glued the lenses. Oh, and I forgot, I asked my sister to color this bag. Luckily, she found an old red bag laying around and she just colored some parts of it black, and I just glued the katana saya inside the bag.
Give me candy, lady!
Looking pretty good. So here's my nephew with the Deadpool mask. What do you think of the costume, little dude?
It's awesome!
Great! High five! Oh, if you have any suggestions on what you want me to make next, feel free to comment down below. Thank you for watching and leave a like. Peace out.
And subscribe!
It's the use. That's my Jewish laugh.
Comedy Gold!